that like player representation, but finally able to won a major off of that. But we have Quidd versus Noku. Oh, PT Ditto.
Ooh. All right, yeah, no, so this should be very interesting, but like I feel like it's gonna be tough to go for. I mean, like Quidd, like is already a young player, very well established too. One, let's make big moves, which some people, can be like, it was a Mickey Mouse bracket or whatever, because we did have a situation. A lot of people ended up DQing, but like he still took out some top gunners there. Like that was no easy run.
It's too easy to find different ways to disprove someone's wins, but at the end of the day, a W is still a W, and you're able to secure it at that level. But and already starting off strong, all this percentage essentially just being unanswered for, quickly stacking up Noku at 100. And I kind of explained it earlier. It's kind of a battle of who can stay off of there, but my goodness, Quidd doing a phenomenal job so far.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much got like maybe one or two hits with Squirtle, and then Quidd just did his thing, man. As soon as he puts you off stage, every single one of them has some tools to keep you out there, right? Squirtle doesn't have a whole lot, but I mean, he's got that fast frame data, right? You can get out there, throw a couple hits, and even then that water gun, right? It's pretty stellar, keeps you out there a little bit. Ivysaur obviously has plenty of tools, and then Charizard, as long as he gets those 2 frames, man, those are stocks disappearing just about every time.
Yeah, able to do so much, and kind of was explaining earlier, like, it's a Squirtle battle, because both of them have to have a really fast neutral to do so, but when someone switches off, you kind of have to respect it and go for it as well. Like, the only really time you wouldn't do that is maybe with Charizard, but, like,
Right.
having 2 Ivysaurs out, you both have the projectiles, and as well as a long distance as that, but keep in mind, Quidd has a huge lead to work off with. They can just use retreating arrows, retreating specials, as well to maintain that lead.
Yeah, and as we watch these two kind of continue to battle with the Ivysaurs here, it definitely is turning into quite the situation. Is that another stock? No, not quite yet, but living.
Yeah, living quite there, and I heard a spike sound. Not sure if that's going there. But...
Yeah, it is exactly what you got, man. We did.
Oh, there we go. Let's go echolocation. I got you.
Echolocation isn't quite what you're talking about. That's what bats do, buddy.
Same thing. It's got to work out somehow, and I was able to hear it out there and finally able to figure it out there. But Quidd able to continue the lead right there with a hold one. And I might be real. PT is one of those characters that can really hold on to a lead, especially like the rage of Charizard and as well as the Ivysaur's usage of the projectiles. Like, it can get really scared to deal with this character.
Right, man. There we go. We got the Flare Blitz just to get back the stage here. And man, dude, Noku just has to get on the board. The up smash from Charizard is going to be enough to do it. Well, I mean, you're already at 129. I mean, you went down 3 stocks to 1 at that percentage, too. This is pretty much a wrap at this point, at least for game 1.
It really is. And honestly, I'd just be thinking about the next game and trying to get to stack the damage judge. Still showing a little bit of signs of life, but you're essentially living on borrowed time, Skiff. It's only inevitable.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, as we watch these guys kind of continue to do battle, though, I mean, PS2 is the spot for Pokemon Fight, that is for sure. But we're trying to see Quidd looking for a way to close this one out. Throws out a couple Razor Leafs. Just try to see if they can pick up something. Obviously, Ivysaur's got some stuff on there, but the throw is not going to be enough. But you know what? That will be.
Surely it will. I'm going to be real. The fact that Ivysaur's kill throw is down throw, it speaks a lot. It just slams you on the floor.
Right.
Oh, goodness. But really good control. Kind of you're expecting earlier with Quidd being able to just kind of extend that lead forward, able to get the conversions up using Squirtle and as well as the Ivysaur to really do it there. And I think the most important one is that the Charizard on the other side was unable to do it. Like, a lot of Flare Blitzes were used, but even then, some of them were spiked down. Some of them were just, like, stopped at all.
All right, as we get into this, though, I mean, the Squirtles come back right out for game 2. These guys are just going to continue to go ham on each other, man. I mean, we all know Squirtle's kind of that small, heavy combo character. I mean, honestly, and I think that Squirtle doesn't get enough credit for some of the KO moves that it has. Like, it doesn't necessarily struggle to take stocks, right? I mean, it's not the best in the game, but it's got some setups that work.
Let me tell you, like, you talk about the smash text, and all of a sudden you get hit like the jab block and they F smash you and you die at like 60-70%. You're like, huh, maybe this character does have some kill power after all. It's just that their neutral tools are just very strong to deal with, and Ivysaur can just do them in much safely. But my goodness, Noku doing a phenomenal job fighting back already and taking the stock first.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the kind of energy I need to see in the game too, to kind of convince myself, never mind yourself, that you're going to be very much in this game. But that's definitely a strong lead. But now you got to contest to get back on the stage. We do see the Charizard use the fly to get back to safety, putting out a nice 30% for extra credit too. That really ain't too bad.
It really isn't, and doing a really good job so far, and kind of fighting out of that corner. Really good stuff in order to stay there. Flare Blitz, I love that. If you're in the lead, you could use it. You're gonna die at any like raw percentage at this point. But Quidd switching off to the Zard can be a little risky. The Zard on Zard action occurring there, and you know the bigger size is gonna make this that Noku will have an easier time letting those stray hits in to get that percentage stack up. And it's kind of speaking as I'm saying, like 183 still living. My goodness, Zard is heavy after all. Getting off in the stage, getting back onto the center as well. Quidd having a hard time securing it, but finally able to do so with an up B out of shield.
Yep. I mean, Charizard's got a couple strong options out of shield too, so it's always something you got to be wary of when you're landing on Charizard shield, right? I mean, you do have the fly, you have the more faithful up smash, I guess. Definitely a strong move in itself, but I mean, he's also just got some great poking tools to kind of keep a medium distance. Like, I know it's kind of Ivysaur's thing, but Charizard does pretty well with it too.
Yeah, but to do really well with it. But as we're speaking about how, remember how big Noku was in the lead?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you look at the percentages and it's like, Quidd's just kind of reminding, hey, you know, I'm one of the best PT players in the world for a reason.
Exactly, yeah, no. I mean, it was definitely a nice, strong start. I wasn't expecting Noku to be able to hold it, but I mean, like, it definitely seems like Quidd recognized what happened in the early game and started to adapt that game plan to try and turn things around here. And as you can see, this stock should be disappearing very, very soon.
Yeah, it should be as well. 178, any straight hit on the Ivysaurs, and should be able to take it, but instead it's gonna be Noku that's gonna get it. I mean, the cornered lizard should fight back, but as soon as I say that one, Quidd doing a phenomenal job, just kind of fighting back to get it as well. But my goodness, game number 2 looking awfully competitive.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, it's what we want to see from a player after losing game 1. I mean, it still is Quidd, right? I do expect Quidd to find a way to close this one up because he's did a fantastic job of making that huge comeback after dropping that first stock and kind of trying to maintain a lead here. And I mean, Noku's still fighting back though, so maybe the adaptation's there. These guys just continuously adapting back and forth. But we see Ivysaur fighting Ivysaur on the right side.
That's all you can really see at this point, Skip, but a lot of the same arrows being used as the tools that are so effective on this character. The Razor Leaves being thrown left and right as well, the aerials retreating bear, and the approaching bears, and as well as the nairs, and so many things being thrown out, and my goodness, trying to get it out there, but Quidd with that stage control! Whoa, gets it up there with that up air, and finally able to take it, but my goodness. Oh!
I mean, that's part of the problem, right? Ivysaur, I'm saying Ivysaur puts you in a checkmate position, right? But it kind of puts you in a really tough spot because one, Ivysaur coming down doesn't necessarily have the strongest tools. Maybe you could throw out a down air to contest anybody trying to shark you or whatever. But on the offensive end, right, is as soon as you put him up there, right, you kind of like, oh, I'm in the scared zone because like I'm already at high percentages. Ivysaur's gonna come up and try to up air me. Obviously, we saw Quidd wait it out, look for the air dodge, hit him with up air at the end, and that's what's going to clear that one out, man. That's why Quidd is so good. I mean, it's what their Twitter handle is literally Quidd Ivysaur, if I remember correctly. Like their Ivysaur is top notch, as we can see right there, finding a way for Old Faithful to come through and clutch that game 2 out, putting them in top 8.
Yeah, you ever seen that that Twitter account where you can play Pokemon and like the avatar would change on the Twitter account thing, where you would keep moving it?
You talking about like the Twitch plays Pokemon, but it was like Twitter plays Pokemon?
It was on Twitter. Yeah, have you seen that one before?
Yeah, I think I've seen
Quidd
some.
should do that for their ad. Every time they switch, it just says Quidd Squirtle or Quidd Ivysaur or Quidd Charizard.
That'd
you just have them
be a lot.
circulating over and over and
My
over
goodness.
Again.